Hi, is this working now? Sorry about that. My computer decided it needed to restart. It has never done that before, but there you go. That was what happened. So anyway, I'll add this as a comment to what I put up before. Sorry, it's a bit shaky. My hand's shaking. I'll just see if I can prop it up on something so we can keep going. I hope that's all right. Can you see me okay? Sorry about that. My computer, of course, I had a dream, you know, about my computer disappearing just before I started, so maybe it was a warning. That's great. Yeah, so it also ended up leading me to, I'd better just say, if you're watching this video now, I already started, so there's another video, and you can catch the beginning of my talk there. So it ended up being that other people were really interested in this idea of making what we do a little bit more Australian, and you know, but other people as well interested in the idea of adapting to different places. So I ended up being asked to write a book about it and share some of the ideas of the community and the things that people do, and that ended up being this one, Australian Druidry. And yeah, it's a little one, so if you're interested in like how Druidry works in other places around the world, maybe it'll be an interesting read for you. I really think that it can be like just a case study that and I've had people from Texas and you know, other places around the world that are quite different read it and say that it's helped them because it you know, just that idea of adapting your practice to different places. And using like those core theories of what we have in Druidry to make our practice more localized, and even developing new ones as well, you know. So something I really wanted to share with you was this idea that we kind of came across just by talking about it a lot, but it also just sort of was in a few books, and maybe it was there a little bit in the practice that I did in Avebury. And but also I'm realizing that it really relates to the concept of land, sea and sky as important parts of our practice too, and that's this concept of the three ancestors. So I mean, we talk a lot about the importance of ancestors in Druidry and recognizing the ancestors of the land and knowing our own ancestors. And I suppose this is just a way that kind of encapsulates it, that can neatly make sense for us. And we call these in specifically sometimes when we do ritual together. So, oh, I'm really sorry it doesn't work on the tablet. I was just trying to get it going again. Anyway, I've been asked back, so I'll do one of these again, and I'll make sure that it all works next time. But I can go back to the computer if necessary. We will see. Anyway, yes. Where was I? Oh yes, the three ancestors. So we've got land, sea, and sky, like a kind of like three elements or three realms with fire in the center, I suppose, or Arwen in the center, and as like that fourth, but like, you know, the triquetra design, or the Triskel, is a beautiful symbol of that, you know, union of three things. Okay, thanks Ben, this seems more stable, that's great. So I think we can think about ancestors in the same way. So land is the, you know, the ancestors of the land that we live in, and maybe we can do this as a meditation. So I'm going to take you through a bit of a meditation of your own ancestors, and if you want to write as a comment something about them, be welcome to. Maybe that's part of a internet meditation of sorts. But yeah, so but if you don't feel comfortable doing a meditation on your ancestors, totally fine. Or if you're not in the right place to do a meditation right now, that's fine. Maybe you can check in later and do it then. Okay, so let's just close our eyes and think about the land that we're standing on or sitting on. And imagining all of the footsteps or the pathways that each person that's gone through there has left, as though each each person's left a little streak of light wherever they've gone. And it's leaving a pattern across the land of all these different people and all these different patterns and ways that people have gone and things that have happened. And maybe you know some of the names of those people. Maybe it's the families that lived before you in the place that you're in, or maybe you're in a place of business, or you know the story or the history of that place or how that building came about. Maybe you know the history of the town that you're in, or who built the road to it. Maybe you know the names of the people that lived there very first. Maybe you'd like to write down the names of those people. I'd like to recognise that I am here on Darug and Gundungara land. They're the traditional custodians of this place that I live in. And I'm in the Upper Blue Mountains, and there's a road here that was built by the pioneers that came through. And there's a lot of mixed up history there, but I recognise it. And I can recognise that those ancestors are there and that those stories are important. And that's our land ancestors, all the stories that have led to me being able to sit here right now and talk to you. And then there's the ancestors of our inspiration. So what is it that inspires you? Is it Druidry, or is it other spiritualities, or is it good friends, or other teachers that you've had? And thinking about all the ways that truth has come to you to make you who you are. And that's another one. And if you want to write your comments about that, that would be welcome too. And maybe we can read back through them later as a sort of invocation of our ancestors of the world. And then thinking to your bloodline or your milk line if you're adopted. So your, how the fluids of life have come to you, and how you have become here in your body. Your blood and bone, yes. So, thinking about all those generations back to the beginnings of life, people that lived before you generations and generations back, and the stories that they held and the stories that you inherit through them. And you might like to write those down too. And I think that that through thinking about all of this, we get quite a whole picture of who we are as individuals in an incredibly diverse world. Druidry isn't cut off to anyone. You can have any bloodline and be part of Druidry, but you can still honour your ancestors in your family and their lines, and that's part of Druidry too. You can live in a completely different place to where Druidry came from, and you can still honour the ancestors of that place and know the stories of that place, and make what you do really local and really, honouring to the place that you live. We can all join together through our shared inspiration with the ancestors of our tradition in Druidry and all the teachers that have come before us, even though we might also have other paths and be diverse people that have different interests. So I found that idea of the three ancestors really, really useful in helping me feel like like I'm connected with the place that I live in, with who I am, and also with the community of Druidry. So I hope you really enjoy using that if it feels good for you. And invoking the three ancestors might become part of your ritual sometime if you feel like it. I think I've got a lot of ideas of things that I could share with you, and I really hope that I can do this again. It's been really interesting to do this, and I've seen while I've been doing this all your little comments coming up. I would really like to go back through and see what you all say, and what this was like for you. So Yeah, and let me know where you're from around the world, and you know, so we can get an idea of this sort of incredible store of wisdom that we have from our ancestors all around the world, all the different histories of places, and all the different you know, histories of individuals, and all of our own stories of truth in the different places that we've found who we are and how we belong. And yeah, that would be lovely to read. And you're welcome. And I really would like to do it again, because I've got other ideas for things that we can talk about, because we're quite a global community, and it's amazing to see and hear about and explore all the different ways that we come to the Grove. I imagine the Grove, if you like, as though it's surrounded by trees, and each one of us comes from a different land in between those trees. It's almost like you can see the different lands that people have come from through those trees. So we all come into this beautiful global grove. So thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.